Episode 2. Discover the hidden loyalties of your HOA management company and understand who they truly serve. Let's decode it. This show is about one world, brand new homes in subdivided land developments where an HOA is required. If you just bought one or you're thinking about it, this episode is for you. So let's start with a company you've never thought about. You didn't interview it, you didn't hire it. Most people can't even name it. And no wonder, plenty of buyers don't even know their new house comes with an HOA, let alone a management company hired to run it. The developer's sales agent certainly never brought that up while you were touring the model homes. But that management company, it collects your dues, it sends the letters, it signs the vendors, it keeps the books for your HOA, the accounting, the reserves, the budgets. It runs your neighborhood every single day. This is your management company. It's a private, independent company that contracts with your homeowners association to do all of this. There are thousands of them across the country, large, small, regional, national, and everyone has a different name. So let me ask, do you know the name of your HOA management company? You know your coffee order, your Wi-Fi password, your dog's middle name, but the company that sets your dues and enforces your rules? You couldn't pick it out of a lineup. And if you don't know who runs your HOA, congratulations. That may be exactly how the system was designed to work. And to be clear, this episode is not about all of them. It's about one specific slice, the management companies that work with developers on brand new HOAs while the developer still holds control. Because here's the part nobody mentioned at the sales office. The developer hired that management company before you ever showed up. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you who this management company really works for, why, as long as the developer holds control, it may not be working in your best interest, why the management company thrives on your apathy, and why its biggest advantage is you believing it's the HOA itself, when in fact, it's just a vendor. Here's the part that should stop you. When the developer picked a management company for your community, he wasn't shopping for one that would look out for homeowners. He wanted a company that would follow his direction. That's the job. And that's the whole reason it got the contract. He chose it. He signed it. It answers to him. Meanwhile, the new homeowners never give any of this a thought. Everything seems handled. The lawn gets mowed, the dues get collected, the newsletters arrive. So everyone quietly assumes the company doing all of it must be working for them. But that's just the part you can see, what's above the water. Below the water, that same management company handles the big picture work, the accounting, the budgets, the reserves, the contracts, the legal work. And during declarant control, the years when the developer lawfully runs your HOA, all of it steers in his direction, not yours. It was in place before you bought. It can stay in control for years after. You see the lawn, they steer the ledger. And here's the thing, none of this is hidden from you. It's not a secret. It's sitting in the documents you signed at closing, the CC&Rs, the bylaws, and in the HOA records you're entitled to see, the management contract, the board the developer appointed, all of it. Nobody had to hide anything because almost nobody looks. Those documents get read about as often as the terms and conditions on a phone update. And that's the genius of it. You don't have to bury something if the buyer is willing to sign it, initial it, and never read it. You were busy buying a dream home. The developer was busy installing the management company that would answer to him. So let's look now. Let's talk about exactly how much power this company holds while the developer is in control and who's actually holding its leash. Now, on paper, the management company works for the HOA, the association, but look at who's actually giving it direction. During declarant control, your HOA's board isn't your neighbors. It's the developer's appointees, every seat or close to it, which means the management company's day-to-day boss is, for all practical purposes, the developer himself. And this isn't some brief handoff period. Depending on your documents and the state's rules, it can run for years, sometimes even after every home has been sold. I covered exactly how that period works in episode 1. For this episode, all you need is the bottom line. The houses may belong to the homeowners. The HOA may still belong to the builder. So why does this arrangement work so smoothly? Because the management company deals with homeowners who walk in with 3 strikes already against them. Strike one, you don't really know what your HOA is, so it never occurs to you to question the company running it. Strike two, you haven't read your governing documents, the CC&Rs, the bylaws, the rules. But the management company has read them. It enforces them on you every single day. And strike three, you don't know who sits on your board, so you have no idea the company answers to people you've never met and didn't elect. Be honest with yourself. Most people can name their Wi-Fi network faster than one person on their HOA board. Right now, could you name one? Could you call them? And while you're unpacking boxes, the developer's board and his management company are deciding what you'll pay, what gets built, and which rules get enforced. The game started before you knew there was a game, and you weren't even at the table. So why does the developer care so much about keeping control? Because while he's still selling homes, control is worth a fortune. He wants a picture-perfect community. No public fights, no angry board meetings, no surprises for the buyers touring his models. And he wants to be sure that, while the warranties are still open, nobody's organizing to come after him for defects. But here's the thing. He doesn't manage any of that himself. He's a builder, not an administrator. He did not build these homes because his dream was answering parking complaints at 9:30 at night. He needs hands to run it, day in, day out. So how does he actually hold on to a community he's already selling off? He holds on with three things: a board he appoints, a management company he chooses, and the apathy you hand him. Let's take them one at a time. The first is the board. During Declarant control, the developer appoints every seat or close to it, and the people in those seats may not live in your neighborhood, may not know you, and may be gone the day he is. But the board is only half the machine, because the board doesn't answer your emails or hold the checkbook. That's the second thing, the management company. The board holds the titles, but the management company does everything. The accounting, the records, the vendor contracts, the resident portal, the meeting packets, your monthly dues. The board may be the face. The management company is the machinery. The developer doesn't need to micromanage your community, and he doesn't want to. He appointed the board. The board hired the company he wanted. And that company runs your neighborhood exactly the way he expects it run. You didn't choose that company. Your neighbors didn't choose it. And as long as his board holds the seats, you can't fire it either. The third thing isn't something he does at all. It's something you hand him, your apathy. Nobody reads the documents. Nobody shows up to meetings. Nobody asks who the management company actually reports to. So he's got all three: a board he appointed, a company that follows his direction, and a community that isn't watching. And notice which of the three touches your daily life. Not the board, not the developer, the management company. Every letter, every fee, every rule, it all comes through them. Now here's where it all comes together, and I want to be careful here. I'm not an attorney, and I'm not accusing anyone of breaking the law. But I'm not promising you the rules get followed either. You saw it in episode 1, governing documents with timelines, developers who stay past them, and nobody checking. Here's what should really bother you though. This system doesn't need anyone to break a single rule. It runs on something much simpler: incentives. And incentives are more dangerous than secrets because nobody has to whisper. And here's the part that took me longest to understand. I don't believe most of these management companies even think they're being two-faced. The habit is so old, so settled, that many of them genuinely believe the rules work differently while the developer is in control, as if the governing documents somehow pause until he leaves. They don't. There is no page in your CC&Rs that says, none of this applies while the developer is in charge. The rules apply from day one. But when a management company has run it the other way for decades, nobody inside even thinks to ask the question. No villain twirling a mustache, just a habit so old it feels like the truth. And let me be fair, plenty of HOAs and management companies out there do right by their homeowners. If that's yours, good for them and even better for you. This episode is about the incentives that show up when a developer holds control. Knowing them is how you tell the difference. So, you already know the setup. The management company works for a board the developer picked. Ask the only question that matters. Who is this management company really trying to keep happy? The homeowners it sends the bills to, or the developer who handed it the contract and can take it away? The developer doesn't have to tell the management company what to do every morning. He picked the people who tell it what to do. And look at the money behind it. To you, the homeowner, this is your one and only neighborhood. To the management company, the developer may be the next 5 neighborhoods. You are one homeowner. The developer may be years of future business. You're not the client they're courting. You're the revenue stream they inherited. Cozy, isn't it? And you weren't invited. You're not even the plus one. You're the check. Let me say this as plainly as I can. The management company is not the bad guy here. It isn't breaking any law, but its future business depends on keeping the developer happy, not on keeping you happy. That's a conflict of interest. And that's the whole point of this episode. Now, let me clear up 3 things almost every new homeowner gets wrong about the management company. 3 myths. Here's the first, and it's the most basic. The management company is not your HOA. They're 2 different things with 2 different names. Your HOA is usually named after your neighborhood. If you live in a development called Crystal Ridge, your HOA is probably Crystal Ridge Homeowners Association. You know that name, it's your community. But your management company has a completely separate name, and you'll find it right at the top of your monthly statements and your violation letters. Something like Sunrise Community Management. Plenty of homeowners go years without ever realizing those are 2 different names for 2 different things. The management company may be the name on every letter and every due statement, but it is not your HOA. It's a vendor, a company hired to do a job, just like the landscaper or the pool service. And yet, during developer control, this vendor may hold more practical power over your daily life than the board itself. And remember, you didn't choose either one of them. And vendors can be fired. But who hires and fires the vendors? The board. And during declarant control, the board belongs to the developer. And this company answers to the man who controls its contract. So no, you can't fire it today, but you are not powerless. You can speak at board meetings. You can put your objections in writing to the board and to the developer himself. You can organize your neighbors and make your voice impossible to ignore. And remember this, the developer won't be there forever. Declarant control ends. And the day the homeowners take the board, the power to keep this management company or fire it belongs to you. So that's the first myth put to bed. The second myth is about fear. New homeowners tend to fear the management company, and the company is in no hurry to correct that. Its managers often carry themselves like their word is final. Whatever they say goes, no questions asked. That bluff is its greatest strength. A developer-controlled management company doesn't need to overpower you. It just needs you to not understand your own bylaws, your own rules, your own rights, so you never push back. Stay in the dark and you hand them exactly what they want. So let me be blunt. The management company is not your friend, and being nice to it buys you nothing. Be as kind as you like, bend over backwards all you want, it won't matter. And in fairness to them, here's why. The fastest way for any management company, good or bad, to land in legal trouble is to treat one homeowner differently than the next. A favor for the friendly homeowner is a lawsuit waiting to happen. So they don't do favors for anyone. Break a rule, you'll get a letter. Keep breaking it, you'll get fined. It was never a friendship, it's enforcement. And that enforcement runs one direction only. Read your governing documents, your CC&Rs, your bylaws, your rules, and follow them. And no one can touch you. Not the management company, not the board, no one. And if a mistaken letter ever does show up, now you'll know it's mistaken and exactly how to answer it. They count on your apathy. Don't give it to them. Know the rules. Follow the rules. That's the goal. The third myth, the big one, that the management company is on your side. I've just shown you why the incentives point the other way, but you don't have to take my word for it. Go to any management company's website and look at who they're actually selling to. You'll notice 2 things. First, their services are pitched to HOA boards, the people who sign their contract, not to you, the homeowner. And second, some of the biggest management companies have entire sections of their websites devoted to winning developer business. Whole pages built to recruit builders. Go look for the page devoted to the homeowner. You won't find it. And here's what those pages sell: something called developer services. They promise builders a partnership that lasts for years. They offer to protect the builder's vision, his brand, and his liability. And they openly offer to stay on and keep running your community long after the builder is gone. Almost everything they're selling is a promise to the developer. So where does your management company's loyalty lie? Just remember, to them, you're one contract. The developer is the next 10. That's not a relationship problem. That's a loyalty map. And your name is not at the center of it. Here's the part that worries me most: the damage from these years. The years the developer's board and his management company ran everything doesn't show up during these years. It shows up later, sometimes months later, often years later. By the time you find out the dues were set too low, the reserves are too thin, a contract is terrible, or the common areas were never built right, decisions the management company carried out, budgets it prepared, books it kept, the builder is long gone. The ribbon cutting is over, the model homes are closed, the sales signs are down, and now the bill belongs to you. The Declarant board dissolved, and the management company that ran it all during control maybe let go years ago, or maybe still there with a conveniently short memory. And when the reserves run dry, the same reserves that management company budgeted year after year, the repair doesn't disappear. It comes back as a special assessment with your name on it, sometimes thousands of dollars. Now here's the cruel part. By the time the bill lands, nobody connects it to where it started. The decisions that caused it were made quietly, years earlier, by people who are gone. So everyone just calls it an HOA problem, your problem. And nobody in the room, not the builder, not the old board, not the management company, is ever going to raise a hand and say, this could have been prevented. This traces back to choices the developer made and to a company that carried them out and never pushed back. And even if that same management company is still running your community, don't hold your breath for the admission. Why would they tell you the mess you're paying for started with decisions they helped carry out and never once challenged? So the cause disappears. The fingerprints are gone, the people are gone, but the invoice stayed behind. And you, the homeowner, pay the price for a problem you didn't create and were never even told was coming. So here's where I'll leave you. You thought you were buying a new home. You were also buying into a system, a board, a management company, a set of rules that may already have been built, staffed, and hired before you ever got the keys. You can't change that it started without you. But you can stop being a passenger. The most expensive mistake in a new HOA is believing someone else is watching. So read your governing documents. Find out who's actually on your board. Ask who your management company really works for. Don't wait until the bill comes, the rule hits, or the contract traps you. Find out who's running your HOA now, because the moment you start paying attention is the moment it starts to change. And one important thing before I let you go. I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be one, and honestly, I don't want to be. I'm just an informed homeowner, and everything in this video is meant to help you become one too. Because here's what the builder, the board he controls, and their management company are all counting on. That this is too complicated for anyone but a lawyer, so you'll never even try. I don't buy that. That's the whole idea behind California HOA Decoded. I take what they bury in the fine print and decode it so you can understand exactly what you signed. It's not legal advice, it's a push to go read the documents, ask the hard questions, and pay attention before you sign. So if you've got thoughts, whether you agree with me or you think I got something wrong, I genuinely want to hear them. Tell me in the comments. If this opened your eyes, do me a favor. Like this video, hit subscribe, and share it with anyone about to buy into a brand new community. I'll see you in the next one.